Is now saying about Russia's meddling in the U.S. election. Buried alive, the deadly landslide swallowing an entire village, destroying more than 40 homes. Government hack, the cyber strike on the British Parliament, leading to an email shutdown. Are Russian hackers now selling the passwords of government officials? Breaking news, armed standoff. Suspects taking over a home after shooting at police. Residents told to stay safe behind locked doors. Nowhere to run. The customers trapped in a store coming face to face with a massive tornado. And 911 lesson. The 4-year-old girl saving her mother, reaching out for help in the nick of time. Do your kids know what to do in an emergency?
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday. I'm Tom Yamas. And we begin tonight with the giant battle over health care. The president putting pressure on his own party. This as a growing number of Republican senators say they have strong reservations. Is the bill now on life support? And President Trump appears to have changed course on the issue of Russian meddling in the November election, saying now, why didn't President Obama do more to stop it? ABC's David Wright starts us off from the White House.
Tonight, the White House is gearing up for another round in the fight to repeal Obamacare. A pro-Trump PAC threatening a $1 million ad buy against a moderate Republican senator who dared to announce overnight he won't back the bill as it stands. Nevada's Dean Heller says he's concerned about the impact the bill would have on low-income residents of his state.
It's going to be very difficult to get me to a yes.
The Republicans need almost every single vote they have to pass the bill. But 5 Republicans have said no, and 4 others have expressed concerns. After golfing today, Trump tweeted, "I cannot imagine that these very fine Republican senators would allow the American people to suffer a broken Obamacare any longer."
I want to see a bill with heart. Healthcare is a very complicated subject from the standpoint that you move it this way and this group doesn't like it.
Healthcare is a human right. We will not give up this fight.
The healthcare fight comes just as the president appears to be changing his stance on Russian meddling in the election. Trump finally appears ready to admit that it did happen. But Trump blames Obama, not Putin.
Well, I just heard today for the first time that Obama knew about Russia a long time before the election, and he did nothing about it. But nobody wants to talk about that.
Until now, Trump hasn't wanted to talk much about Russia.
I think we ought to get on with our lives.
To the extent that he's acknowledged Russian hacking at all, he's tended to dismiss the story as sour grapes from the Democrats.
You can talk all you want about Russia, which was all a, fake news, fabricated deal to try and make up for the loss of the Democrats.
Another example of the so-called rigged system he railed against during the campaign.
Remember, folks, it's a rigged system.
This whole election is being rigged.
The system is rigged.
Now that the Washington Post has published a much more detailed account of Russian meddling and of Obama's secret struggle to stop the Russians, Trump seems to be changing his tune. Today, Trump tweeted, "Since the Obama administration was told way before the 2016 election that the Russians were meddling, why no action? Focus on them, not T."
The question is, if he had the information, why didn't he do something about it? He should have done something about it. But you don't read that. It's quite sad.
So President Trump now pointing the finger at President Obama. David Wright joins us live from the White House. President Trump may soon have his first meeting with Vladimir Putin, right, David?
That's right. They'll be in the same room, coming face-to-face at the G20 summit. That takes place in Hamburg, Germany, in about 2 weeks' time. And no one-on-one meeting scheduled as of yet, but it'll be interesting to watch. Remember, it was at the G20 just last year that President Obama says he confronted Putin about the hacking and told him to cut it out. Tom?
That famous photo and that exchange. All right, David, thanks so much. And much more on all of this tomorrow on This Week when George goes one-on-one with Counselor to the President, Kellyanne Conway. We want to head overseas now and the urgent concerns over an apparent cyber attack on Britain's parliament. The discovery that there were unauthorized attempts to hack government officials, many leaders in the UK unable to access emails. And the big question tonight, who's behind it all? ABC's Ron Claiborne is in London with the latest.
An audacious cyber attack. Tonight, every member of parliament shut out of remote email by the British government after hackers attempted to break into their accounts.
Blanket targeting of members of parliament, of the UK parliament, is serious. It's very serious in nature in terms of if I can get access to your email account, then I get access to a lot of information.
The hack attempt, first discovered Friday, led to the shutdown and this alert from Parliament on the cyber attack. In attempt to identify weak passwords, these attempts were specifically trying to gain access to users' emails. This member of Parliament taking to Twitter. Sorry, no parliamentary email access today. We're under cyber attack from Kim Jong-un, Putin, or a kid in his mom's basement, or something. It was not immediately known who was behind the attack, but the Times of London reports that Russian hackers have been selling email addresses and passwords of senior British government officials.
We know that our public services are attacked, so it's not at all surprising that there should be an attempt to hack into parliamentary emails.
The suspected goal of such an effort?
I believe it has the hallmarks of political disruption.
So far, there's no indication the hack attempt has actually succeeded. Tonight, investigators are trying to figure out who is behind this bold cyber attack. And Tom, yet another reminder, the vulnerability they were trying to exploit, weak passwords. Tom?
A good reminder indeed. Ron Claiborne from London. Ron, thank you. Turning now to the major landslide disaster burying most of this village in China under an avalanche of mud and rocks while people were sleeping. The desperate rescue effort underway right now, more than 100 people still missing, and tonight that number is growing. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez with the latest.
Tonight, rescuers desperately digging through the rubble. As many as 120 people missing, feared buried beneath this crush of heavy rocks and mud. Officials say the massive landslide came with no warning at 6 a.m. local time in China's Sichuan province. Heavy rain causing the mountainside to crumble onto the village below. A second smaller landslide triggering boulders to topple onto the village. Search dogs, heavy equipment, and instruments to detect life all deployed for finding signs of survivors, like Chao Dashuai and his family. He says dozens of households in the village were completely buried, and he says his 1-month-old son saved them by crying and waking them up moments before the mudslide hit. I was pinned down in the dining room. We slowly got up, held the baby, and escaped, he explains. Tonight, with at least 15 dead, rescuers are still hoping for more stories like his, uncovering crumbled pieces of some of the more than 40 homes that were obliterated. A hotel is also buried beneath the rubble, but officials say it's still unclear whether any tourists are among the missing. Tom?
Marcy Gonzalez with a search and rescue effort tonight. Marcy, thank you. Now to the dangerous weather back here at home. 2 storm-related deaths reported in Arkansas. And take a look at this, a tornado rolling right towards a Home Depot in New Jersey, blowing the doors wide open, shoppers ducking for cover. Plus drenching rain south of Pittsburgh, the flash flooding damaged trees and buildings all related to Tropical Depression Cindy. ABC senior meteorologist Rob Marciano has more.
Extreme weather today, spinning up this tornado in central New Jersey.
This is a tornado, guys. We're going inside.
Witnesses at this Home Depot running inside for cover. Powerful winds flinging the doors wide open. Torrential rains thrashing the windows.
Tornado, sure. Look at it, it's right there.
Lightning strikes with sheets of rain drenching the parking lot.
Right there.
The same line of storms downing trees and toppling power lines across the Garden State. West of Pittsburgh, flash flooding, damaging homes and washing out roadways.
It was total rain. You couldn't see anything.
In Springfield, Missouri, powerful winds tearing off the roof of a car wash, catapulting it into this house. And north of Boston, winds toppling a tree right through a house, crushing its front porch. Torrential rain washing out roads in central Michigan. And a massive lightning bolt obliterating this house in Harrison. Its remains scorched and covered in black ash.
An incredible image. We do know the owner of that home is okay tonight. Rob joins us now with those lingering storms still in the south.
Yeah, the front is draping, sagging to the south. You see it there across the Gulf Coast. Getting pretty far south tomorrow is pretty rare for this time of year, but more storms will fire along that front and saturated ground, so could see some flooding. The big story out west continues to be the heat. It's been a full week of extreme heat across the southwest. Heat warnings remain up there for Phoenix and Las Vegas, but a record-breaking today in Portland, up in the upper 90s. Could touch 100 degrees there tomorrow, into the 90s in Seattle. A lot of those of folks up there don't have air conditioning, so very hot for them.
Really hot out west. All right, Rob, thanks so much. Next to the breaking news, the tense armed standoff shocking a quiet residential community. Suspects firing at police, and residents there urged to stay behind locked doors for their own safety. This all unfolding in a suburb outside of Philadelphia. ABC's Stephanie Ramos is on the scene.
Tonight, police locked in a standoff with 2 armed suspects barricaded inside this home. The neighborhood near Allentown, Pennsylvania, on lockdown.
911 for all residents to remain inside their houses with the doors locked.
It all started before noon Saturday. Police trying to pull over a man and a woman.
He's not stopping.
That's when police say the suspects got out of the car, opening fire on police.
Male had the handgun, shots were fired.
Running from house to house.
He's stopped in the field, he's running. Get me K9 units and get me state police if you can.
Taking refuge here, a home in the middle of a cornfield, now surrounded by police. Officers armed with long guns, a chopper hovering above, and police blocking the only road.
And Stephanie Ramos joins us live now from that neighborhood. Stephanie, I understand you have some new developments on what's going on there.
Yeah, Tom, the bomb squad just arrived here a few moments ago, right as the tactical team was leaving. So unclear if maybe that's a sign that this is almost over. That's still unclear, but we do know there's a local drone operator flying over the scene, and he tells us police are moving in on this house where the 2 suspects are barricaded. But this is still a very active scene right now. That standoff still going on. Tom?
Stephanie Ramos for us tonight. Stephanie, thank you. And new worries for thousands of residents near that devastating fire in London. More than 800 apartments in 5 tower blocks evacuated. There are concerns that these buildings could ignite the way the Grenfell Tower did last week. The death toll in that blaze stands at 79. Emergency work is underway to replace exterior material feared to be flammable. Now to the small plane crash back here at home, all caught on camera. That single-engine Piper losing control. You can see it on the right side of your screen there, crashing into a daycare center in Florida. Luckily, no children were there at the time, but officials reporting 1 person did die aboard that plane. Another person has been rushed to the hospital from that scene. Now to the F-16 Thunderbird accident at an Ohio airport. The jet flipping over on the runway, trapping the pilot and his crew member. And this all happening right before a major air show. Tonight, the famous Thunderbirds are grounded following this crash before the Dayton Air Show. One of their F-16s flipping off the runway.
Operations, we're going to need anything heavy you have that can lift this.
Emergency crews rushing to the scene and working nearly 2 hours to rescue Technical Sergeant Kenneth Cordova and pilot Captain Eric Speedy Gonzalez, both now recovering.
We wanted to go out and show you a little bit of the Thunderbird mission, a little bit of the Air Force mission. You know, we like to recruit, retain, and inspire.
In April, I flew with the Thunderbirds. Captain Gonzalez showing me what the $30 million fighter jets are capable of.
Here come the
Captain Gonzalez is an experienced fighter pilot with more than 1,600 flight hours, plus combat experience. He's the advanced pilot and the narrator for the Thunderbird show. He showed me some of their most famous maneuvers.
1, 2, 3, 4.
But the accident in Dayton didn't happen in the air. It happened on the ground. Some eyewitnesses describing the plane hydroplaning off the runway.
The F-16 went off the runway as it was taxiing off.
Gonzalez suffering lacerations to his legs. Cordova also injured, but later released from the hospital. The 12-ton jet significantly damaged. The cause of the accident is still under investigation, but there was foul weather when they landed, including high winds.
We have Air Force regulations that guide whether or not we can go in with certain weather conditions. His approach and landing met all of those legal requirements.
And the Air Force telling us tonight that Captain Gonzalez is still recovering. There's still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Saturday. An American tourist shot during an island vacation medevaced back to the States. An update on his condition. Plus, a TSA officer arrested, accused of breaking one of the cardinal rules of the job. We'll tell you what he allegedly did. And fire races through an apartment building, people jumping out of windows to escape the flames. Where this happened next.
This is ABC World News Tonight, brought to you by the American Petroleum Institute.
When my doctor told me I have age-related macular degeneration, AMD, he told me to look at this grid every day. And we came up with a plan to help reduce my risk of progression, including PreserVision AREDS 2. My doctor said PreserVision AREDS 2 has the exact nutrient formula the National Eye Institute recommends to help reduce the risk of progression of moderate to advanced AMD after 15 years of clinical studies. PreserVision AREDS 2, because my eyes are everything.
It's time to pick a used car.